Namaste everyone. Welcome back to Suvi English channel. In today's video, let me present to you a very interesting story titled The Doctor's Word, written by R K Narayan. R K Narayan was one of the most popular Indian English writers. Some of his notable works are Swami and His Friends, Guide, The Dark Room, Malgudi Days, etc. And the story, The Doctor's Word, has been taken from his famous book called Malgudi Days. And the title itself sounds to be very interesting, The Doctor's Word. Sometimes words become more powerful than any medicine. Not only the words spoken by doctor, any words spoken by your near ones or dear ones can become more powerful medicine to heal any illness, right? On the other hand, sometimes some rude words or some harsh words can also cause some severe mental illness. In this story, we have a doctor whose words become very crucial in someone's life. And now let's get into the story and see whether the doctor's words can really save someone's life or they kill someone's life. In the story, once there was a doctor called Dr. Raman who was running a small clinic. And the patients used to visit his clinic only when there was emergency, only when there was very critical condition. And the doctor would often scold them for not bringing the patient at the right time. And there were two reasons why the people were not going to the clinic immediately when there was an illness. Number one, they would avoid going to the clinic because of doctor's fees. Dr. Raman would charge 25 rupees as consultation fees. So the people would avoid going to the clinic if it was a normal condition. They would go only when the situation was very critical. Why? To avoid the 25 rupees consultation fees. This was the first reason. And the other reason was superstitious belief. They would feel that going to a doctor was a bad sign or evil sign. They would feel that something bad would happen to them if they would go to doctor. So because of these two reasons, the people would avoid going to the doctor if the situation was very normal. They would go to the doctor only when the situation was very critical. And looking at this kind of attitude of the people, Dr. Raman would often scold them for not bringing the patient at the right time. And Dr. Raman would give very honest opinion or honest review about the patient's condition. He would never give any fake promises or false assurances, hopes to any patient, because he believed that telling some soothing words to the patient or giving him some soothing lies, telling him some soothing lies would never save a patient's life. ಕೆಲವು ಹಿತವಾದ ಸುಳ್ಳುಗಳಿಂದ ಒಬ್ಬ ರೋಗಿ ಬದುಕ್ತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸುಳ್ಳು ಅನ್ನೋದು ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಮನ್ ಬಿಲೀವ್ಡ್. So he thought of giving honest opinion to the patient or the patient's attenders. So he felt there was no point in hiding about the patient's condition. So he was giving honest opinion. That was his nature, that was his principle. However, one day he came across a situation where he had to go against his principle. He had to tell a lie. He had to tell a soothing lie to someone. Dr. Raman had a very close friend named Gopal. They had been friends since their childhood. They would meet occasionally on Sundays. So they would go to a hotel, they would dine, they would watch a movie, and they would talk about their lifestyles. So theirs was a classic friendship, right? They had been maintaining that healthy relationship for many years. However, one day Dr. Raman's friend Gopal fell ill, and Dr. Raman came to know about his friend Gopal's illness through Gopal's son. Once Dr. Raman was attending his patients in his clinic, and he saw Gopal's son at his clinic. So that's how Dr. Raman came to know about Gopal's illness. Immediately after attending his patients at his clinic, he rushed to Gopal's residence. And later, when he reached Gopal's residence, he came to know that his friend Gopal had been ill for the last 1.5 months. The sick Gopal was being attended by that local doctor, but Dr. Raman, when he heard that his friend was ill, he was very sad. So he was very disappointed. Immediately he opened his bag and injected some medicine to Gopal, and he brought his nurse and attender from his clinic. The doctor, his attender, his nurse, everybody stayed at Gopal's house to take care of him. And Gopal's wife, as she was very anxious, she kept on asking Dr. Raman whether her husband Gopal was out of danger or not. And Dr. Raman would not say anything. He simply asked Gopal's wife to give some glucose and a spoonful of brandy to Gopal for every 40 minutes. And there was no response, there was no positive response from Gopal till 11 o'clock at night. And after 11 o'clock, there was some positive response in the moments. So he opened his eyes and he took something. And later, when he opened his eyes, when he was awake, Gopal asked his friend Dr. Raman. He was very happy to see his friend doctor. He felt very happy, and he asked him how long he was going to live, because he wanted to do some important work before his death. He wanted to settle his property. He wanted to make his will. He wanted to sign his document. He wanted to sign the will before he died. So Gopal wanted to know how long he would survive, how long he would live, because Dr. Raman would give the exact opinion, right? Honest opinion, so that Gopal would come to know how long, how many days or how many years, how many months or how many hours he would survive. So he wanted to know, because he had been sick for several days. So he wanted to know whether he would survive for a longer period or whether he would die. So that he wanted to know from Dr. Raman, because he wanted to do some important work, that was signing the will. And he also wanted his friend Dr. Raman to sign on the will as a witness. So he wanted to know how long he would survive. And Dr. Raman, hearing this from his friend Gopal, was very shocked, and this was his dilemma. So he had that moral dilemma whether to give positive opinion or negative opinion. So it was very difficult for Dr. Raman to handle that kind of situation. And later, after diagnosing, after examining Gopal, Dr. Raman was very much sure, because he was an experienced doctor. So he was very much sure that if the will was to be signed, Dr. Raman thought in his car, if the will was to be signed, it must be done within the next 2 hours. That means Gopal would die in just 2 hours. Within 2 hours he would die, because he had understood the condition, the situation. So he was very much sure. Haru Nama doctor. So doctor was very much sure that Gopal would die in 2 hours. But it was very difficult for him to convey that, right? So if he did not tell that truth to Gopal, Gopal could not make his will, right? And that property will be unsettled, and there were many problems, because there was a gang, Subbaya and gang, so who were trying to grab Gopal's land. So there were many complications. So at any cost, Gopal wanted to sign the document, sign the will before his death. So according to doctor, Gopal would die in just 2 hours. So in that critical condition, it was very difficult for him to directly tell Gopal that he would die. And Gopal trusted Dr. Raman, because Raman was not only a doctor here, So he was very good friend to Gopal. They had been very good friends for the last 40 years. So he believed, Gopal believed, that if doctor said something positive, that he would survive for a longer time, he would definitely live, or he would definitely survive. But if Dr. Raman said that Gopal would die in 1 day or 2 days or 1 week, he would definitely die, because he was such an experienced doctor, right? So Gopal requested Dr. Raman to give his opinion as it is. Whatever is there, you please let me know, because I want to do some important work. That was what Gopal requested Dr. Raman. Dr. Raman thought for a while, and he finally decided to tell some lies. It was the first time in his life going against his own principle, because he had his own principles, he had his own nature, but that situation made him to change his lifestyle. So he decided to tell some soothing lies. It was already midnight, almost 11:30, 12 o'clock. So Gopal was still awake. He was curiously waiting for Dr. Raman's opinion. Dr. Raman came and he just spoke to him. He said, Gopal, don't worry, you will live for many years, you will survive for up to 90 years. Don't worry, your heart is sound enough, your body is sound enough, you are completely all right. Now forget about that will, forget about your illness. Now I am with you. You just keep quiet, you just keep calm and have a sound sleep, so that you will recover from your illness. So that's what Dr. Raman spoke that night. But his subconscious mind, the doctor's subconscious mind, was telling that Gopal would die in just 2 hours. And later, the next morning, when the doctor visited Gopal's house, doctor was shocked to see Gopal, because Gopal was very active, he was very healthy, he was almost recovered, because Gopal believed whatever doctor said. The previous night, the doctor said that he would survive, he would live for many years. So he also had the same opinion. Gopal also had the same opinion, and he was very calm, he was very cool. That positive opinion, that positive attitude made him to recover from his illness. He took doctor's words very effectively, very seriously. His body, his mind took the doctor's words very powerfully than any medicine. Right? Here, the doctor's words act as more powerful medicine than any other medicines in the world. This is just a fictional story written by R K Narayan, but in our society, we come across some examples where some people recover very soon when they are accompanied by some good people, right? When the doctor gives or speaks some gentle words, some gentle if the doctor has some gentle conversation with the patient, immediately the patient recovers, right? That's the power of words, right? That's all about the story, the doctor's words. Thank you.